What's up guys, Martin here, and today I'd like to go over AdWords and especially how I set it up, how I look at the data, and what I do with the data. So let's just jump right into it and kind of go over what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about total conversion value, quality score, conversion value cost, search exact match, search loss, and click assisted. These are the few details that I go through every single time I look at an AdWords campaign. I can determine exactly what to do with this information. So let me jump into it right away and go to our AdWords and campaign. So how you get to it is, let me start from the beginning for the online campaigns. Pick any campaigns you want, click on it, and then pick any ad group you have and click on it, and you arrive at keywords. And how you set it up, it's up to you. I usually start with the phrase matches most of the time and exact matches. I have also broad matches modifiers in some cases, such as a few of these kind of things I have around, and just kind of test it out to see if it works. If it doesn't, really it's up to you. I usually start with a phrase match. It's one of my top things that I do and for every campaign, and kind of learn what people are actually searching for and kind of go from there. So let's go over the data that I showed you. And it starts with total conversion value, total quality score, conversion value cost, search exact match, search lost, click assisted, and click assisted conversion. That's quite a few data that you have in here. And how you get these columns in here, you go to your ad groups, and on the very top you will see columns. This is control for columns. You click it, you can customize, and here you can add any column you want or remove the columns from this side. So once you have set it, just like for example I have, if you add all of these one by one. Now this website is e-commerce website, and if you, for example, have a lead website which generate leads, you can assign value to your conversion of $10 to $15. I usually don't go more than that, just because I like to control to see how better I can improve it. If I put per lead value of $100, of course everything's gonna make me money. So I usually start between 10 to 15 bucks, and I think that's the most reasonable part that I do to make sure that I can actually push the campaign to its limits. So once you have all these numbers, let's just go over them and determine if this keyword actually makes sense for me or what do I do next. So we're gonna start with total conversion value as one of the fields has to be hooked up to your e-commerce website or lead website or however you want it. That's the most common part where everybody can see if you're actually making money. So I made $2,000 and I spent $300, for example, for this keyword. That's a good deal, of course. I can see exactly that. Okay, yeah, okay, I made money, so great. Maybe I should keep this keyword. Maybe I can lower it a little bit, but for now, let's just leave it as it is. Quality score. Quality score is very, very important, and people usually miss it and don't really understand what is in here. Everybody wants to be 10 out of 10 because the best. But Google, what I see is that they made 5 out of 10 as benchmark. And let's just go over this quality. So let's just go over this quality score to see exactly how it works. And in here you can see. Let me go to the next slide in here, and here we go. So quality score of 5 in here is basically a benchmark. It's basically where Google understands that if your quality of score, that's you're in the middle of everything and you're doing okay. Now just say you have a quality score of 4. That means that if you quality of score, Google approximately assigned 30% more per click than the other guy that scores a quality score of 6. If it's quality score of 3, you will be paying more of 40% more than the other guys are paying. That means if you go 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, as you can see, there's a reduction. So if quality score is, for example, 8, you almost paying 50% less than the other guys are paying of quality score 3 or 2. So it really depends on what quality score is. So you're gonna be 5 and above at every single time. 10 is about 80% reduction. Now these numbers are a guideline. These are not exactly exact numbers. This is through my campaigns that determine how much I'm paying. You can track your own expenses and see what you have. But this is kind of, you can take about, this is about same for any kind of campaign that you're gonna have as well. So as long as you can understand that you pay a little more money for anything that's below 5 and you actually extracting numbers away from your pay per click if you go 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, of course. So this gives you an idea how this actually works and what do you need to do to improve it. The quality score is basically a part of your keyword, position, and your landing page. So all these three factors play a huge role, and in order to figure out what and why this is happening, we just have to go back to the numbers and figure it out. So just go through a few of these numbers to give you an idea. So next one is conversion value cost, and I use this actually as a benchmark because this is very important to me. Anything that's 1% and above is actually doing well, and what it is that how many times you made your money back. So if I spend $389 in cost, I made 7% more money, or 7 times more money on my cost, so that I made $2,798. This is a very good benchmark because right away I can say, well, is this keyword actually worth it for me? Let's just pick up some kind of keyword where it's 1.6, for example. So I only made 1% of my money back. That means I have spent 91 bucks, but I only made 151. So the profit margin is very low. So 1.6 is not something for my e-commerce site, but anything about 1% is doing good, and you can kind of figure out from there what the problems are. So let's go to next column. The next one is search exact match is, and what it says exactly what it is. It's exact match. So for example, I have exact match already says this keyword in here, and it tells me that 80% of time your keyword is actually typed it in, but at 20% of time we actually determined to pull different keyword for you. So I told Google, hey Google, make this keyword exact match, but they said, well, we actually think there will be other keywords that actually can match this keyword as well. So let's just look at it. So you click on it, go to details, select it, search terms, select it, and it gives you an idea of what else it pulls it. And you can see there's a variety of keywords actually that's called clause variant. And in here you can kind of see exactly other keywords that actually are matching your keyword. So it's pretty understandable. So even I told Google, please only pull this keyword, Google says, no, we're gonna closely match it as well. I'm gonna pull these keywords as well. And the reason they do it is because, well, A, they wanna make more money, and B, it gives you a better chance of get after little misspellings in here and little other things that you can kind of, you can see multi-IT that pulls it as well. And I can make these negative keywords if I want, or I can just leave them as it is. So as you can see, this gives you a pretty good overview of what is going to be your exact match of how to deal with. The more exact match, like for example 100%, the lower the cost I can play with. That's the idea. Now the next one is search lost IS rank. And if you go over these little buttons, it gives exactly what it means. But the idea is that you actually are losing rank. So 7% of the time I lost my position, 5% lost my position, 51% lost my position. Anything that's below 35%, you leave as it is. Anything above 35%, you will raise your max CPC higher, because everything you're losing. I'm losing 50% of my positioning from time to time, and I need to improve that, of course. So next one is click assisted conversion last clicks, and what this basically means is it allows me to see. Let's just go over this one here. And this one basically tells you, this ratio shows you whether a keyword contributes more click assisted conversion if the number is greater than 1, or more last click conversion if the number is less than 1. So what this all means is this. If you have 1 and below, as you can see, if a 1 and below, then you have a more last click conversion. Basically means people type the keyword, they go to your website, and they actually buy a product or subscribe or whatever you're gonna do. If your number is above 1, there's a click assisted conversion, basically meaning there's one more keyword that people click on, which leads to assisted conversion. And this is somewhat important because this gives an idea of what's going on with your campaigns. For example, this campaign is 0.25 and this campaign is 0.16. So the lower I go, the better. So this is 0.25, so I do have assisted keywords, and I have assisted keywords as well in here. And if you want to know how many, last column will tell you. 3 of these keywords were actually coming from different keywords. And when you look at these keywords in here, in details, selected, you can see 3 of these actually count as a conversion. So when you scroll to the right, as you can see, 1, 2, and the third one I believe I deleted last time, so there's not showing in here anymore. But as actually this variant, the close variant actually in here, mount it together, actually made a conversion as well. So you can see there are 3 additional keywords out there, showing only 2. One of them can be hidden due to Google SSL. But as you can see, it gives an idea what's going to be your campaign. So what is the ultimate campaign? That will be the good question. So looking for something like this in this campaign, 100%. That means I can manipulate my cost per click lower. Loss is very high. You can see that I want to be 35% and below. This one's 35.51, so it's reaching very high levels. Anything that you can see 7.5 is a perfect campaign, and I know these keywords are working, except, well, this one is causing me an issue because I'm losing my rank. And the reason I'm losing the rank is because my keyword is causing it. And when I go to details and select the search terms, these are my little culprits in here that are causing me to lose the information, because people are looking for specifics, and I don't have any of these things mentioned in there in my landing page. So any of these little keywords is popping, all these numbers and things like that, I don't have any of these things, not even these long ones. So really, people are typing in keywords that I don't have. So the best solution you have, it's either to make this keyword, for example, negative keywords, and that will improve your quality score, improves everything else. Or pause this keyword and just play with an exact match, because it's performing much better than actually phrase match for me. So I can just actually pause this. Just because it's not making me money, I'm losing money in here. Now, of course, you can see some people say, well, you know, you spent like $4, but you made $50. Well, that's excellent, but I did spend $4, and I can allocate the $4 to somewhere else. And if you do it per week, this actually is going to add up really quickly. Once you go through your campaigns, you can save thousands and thousands of dollars in spend just to kind of see what works, what doesn't. But really, the reason I'm trying to eliminate this one, because 51%, I'm losing the ad rank 51%. So the ad is jumping from position 2 to 51%, which is position 4. So between 2 to 4, it jumps from, depends where it is. And you can see I only have one click, one conversion from all the time that I started this campaign. So it's not really worth it to me to keep it going. I'd rather just allocate this $4 someplace else and add to this campaign, for example, where it makes me money. And as long as you go down your list, you kind of see exactly what's happening with your campaigns. So I have high numbers, but let me try to find something that's kind of out of ordinary. Here's 10% and less than 90%. Actually, more than 9% search loss. So this is completely wrong keyword actually. And it's little this kind of thing. It just doesn't understand what it is. So that's pretty much just pause it, even though it didn't cost me any money. Actually, that cost me $44. So really, I need to save this keyword right away. You can see it's a huge impressions, but yet I'm losing almost over 90% of search rank. So positions 4, I'm jumping like maybe 8 to 12 positions back and forth every single time. So really, it does not work for me, this keyword at all. And you kind of go down the line as far as what is going, what's not working. So let's just go to maybe next campaign. We have a little more time. And let me try again the same ad group, and let's just try this one in here and see what data we get in here. So in here, for example, we have 57%, 41%, and no data. But quality score is good. So we have 57% of time people type our keyword. We're losing 41% of time. We are completely going up and down in a search ranking. So really, we need to lower this below 35%. Therefore, we have to raise the bid. So instead of 7%, we're gonna try 80%. Oops, 0.80, of course, not $80. 0.80, and we have actually no data at this moment. So look at something that we have a data. So we have something in here. So such exact match is 45%, is very low. So there's keyword issues basically because of phrase match. We are not losing, we are below 35%, still a little high, but below 35%. So we're gonna leave it as it is. We're gonna correct our keywords first. Only 0.50. So that means that anything above 1, as you can see in here. So if it's above 1, we have a click assisted conversion. So we are actually halfway there. That means there were 3 assisted conversions for this keyword, which confirms that the search exact match is actually so low. So we just have to go back to this campaign, pull the details, select it, and look at the search terms. As you can see, cross variants and phrase matches are causing our little headaches in here. So really, these really needs to be cleaned up. Basically, cleaning up is figure out exactly what I need to keep and what I need to actually eliminate out. For example, shelves, that's negative keyword. As long as you know your product, it's very easy. Some of them I would add as a exact match. So I have additional keywords in here. Some of them I will clean up, or I can